Have you ever asked yourself, why do I have so few friends? Is there something wrong with me? In a world that worships noise and constant socializing, quiet people are easily seen as odd, left out, or even losers. But from a Stoic perspective, having few friends doesn't mean you're less valuable. It can actually be a sign of inner strength and of qualities the crowd simply doesn't understand. This video will show you 5 personality traits that people with few friends often possess, and perhaps you'll realize that this is precisely why you're different. People who have few friends are often not socially awkward. They're the ones who refuse to bend themselves to fit the crowd. They don't know and don't want to live a life where they wear a mask during the day and only take it off at night just to breathe. They don't smile when their heart is breaking, and they don't pretend to be excited about shallow conversations just to be seen as easy to get along with. In this world, under the pressure of social media and the culture of you must be fun, loud, and social, people are slowly being turned into mass-produced copies. Everyone is trying to be like everyone else, so they won't be left out. Meanwhile, the genuine ones choose to slow down and claim a rare privilege, the right to live in alignment with their own values and emotions. They don't chase trends. They don't force themselves into a more acceptable version just to gain a few likes or a few superficial connections. Stoicism teaches us that the only thing we truly control is our inner character, not the judgments of others. And authentic people understand this deeply. They accept the price of being themselves, and that price is often loneliness. Few people truly understand them. Few people can handle their honesty, their depth, or their refusal to perform. So gradually their circle shrinks. From the outside, someone may quickly conclude, wow, this person has so few friends. They must be difficult. But the truth is the opposite. They're not lacking in social skills. They're simply unwilling to enter relationships that require them to betray themselves. They would rather stand alone on a solid foundation of values than blend into the crowd as a fake version of themselves. And if you too have few friends because you cannot pretend, remember this. Your loneliness is not a sign of failure. It is proof that in a world full of roles and masks, you still dare to show up as who you truly are. If authenticity is what gives them the courage to live true to who they are, then independence is the quiet strength that allows them to stand firm under the world's judging gaze. Independent people don't need others to feel complete because they've already built a home within themselves, where their values, principles, and life purpose are the solid pillars. They can appreciate and love others, but they do not use anyone as an emotional crutch to prop up their own emptiness. They are not dependent on validation. They don't need waves of virtual applause. They are not terrified of an evening alone, because to them, silence is not a void to be feared, but a space where the mind can finally breathe. While many people panic when no one invites them out, when there are no messages, no conversations buzzing on their screen, the independent person can calmly make a cup of tea, open a book, and have an honest conversation with themselves. Stoicism calls this self-mastery, not letting your emotions or your sense of worth hang on someone else's face, mood, or approval. Independent people also solve their own problems, make their own decisions, and take responsibility for the consequences. They don't blame the circumstances, and they don't hide behind the crowd. Every time they stumble, they learn how to get back up on their own feet. And it is precisely that process that forges a powerful inner strength, the kind of silent power that nothing can shake. Society may try to pull them into the mold of, you must fit in, you must be like everyone else. Still, to them, mature freedom is not about being liked by many people. It's about not letting society drag them around with the fear of, I must belong at all costs. They choose the more challenging path, standing firm in solitude rather than dissolving into the crowd just to feel less different. And if you are also learning how to be independent, remember this. Every moment you dare to face life on your own, you are one step closer to the strongest version of yourself. Once a person is independent enough not to cling to anyone just to feel worthy, they gain another privilege, the right to be selective. At that point, they no longer seek relationships out of fear of loneliness, but out of respect for the meeting of kindred souls. That is when selectiveness appears, quiet but very decisive. People with few friends are often not friendless because no one wants to be around them, But because they refuse half-hearted relationships, they're not interested in connections that only hover at the surface. A few polite chats, a few obligatory likes, a few hangouts just to avoid being seen as the odd one out. Inside them, there is an obvious measure. If we are going to step into each other's lives, it must be sincere, profound, and kind. It may sound difficult or picky, but in truth, that is respect. Respect for themselves and respect for the person standing in front of them. In an age where many people make friends just to gain numbers, more engagement, and the illusion of being liked, the selective ones move in the opposite direction. They would rather have few friends than use relationships to fill an inner void. They understand a Stoic truth. If your soul is empty, no crowd can save you. But if your inner world is solid, one or two true friends are already more than enough. That's why they patiently accept a slow journey instead of rushing to collect every passing connection that brushes through their life. You can imagine them as a spiritual head chef. They don't need a banquet table overloaded with bland dishes. They need a few truly high-quality ingredients to cook something with real depth. Every friend who makes it into the kitchen of their soul is the result of observing, listening, and being tested by time. That's not arrogance, it's clarity. They know that the people closest to them will directly shape how they think, feel, and live. And if you, too, have few friends because your heart refuses to accept shallow connections, maybe that's not a weakness at all. It's a sign that you're taking your inner world very seriously. When someone is selective enough to keep only relationships that truly matter, they naturally create more space for themselves. And in that space, another world opens up. The world of inner life. People with few friends often have an inner depth that is very hard for outsiders to reach. On the surface, they may seem quiet, reserved, or distant. But inside, they're like a secret mental library filled with thoughts, questions, memories, doubts, beliefs, and private struggles. They don't just live, they watch themselves living. They ask, why am I really doing this? Because I'm afraid of being left behind. Or because I genuinely want to move forward. Am I angry at this person, or am I angry at my own weakness? They understand their motives, their fears, their dreams, and even the dark corners most people try to avoid. This reflective, inward way of thinking helps them understand themselves far more deeply than most people do. They don't wait for life to slap them hard before they finally wake up. They choose to examine themselves every single day. While so many people choose to chase external stimulation, one more meetup, one more fun night out, one more notification so they don't have to sit in silence, these people choose to turn inward to find their answers. They don't need the world to be loud all the time to feel that they exist. They are willing to sit alone with thoughts that are sometimes very uncomfortable, just to understand more clearly, who am I really and where do I actually want to go? Stoic philosophy sees this ability to self-reflect as the core of maturity. Marcus Aurelius wrote every day about what he had thought, done, and felt, as if holding up a mirror to his own soul. People with few friends, with their rich inner life and habit of inward thinking, are doing something very similar. In a noisy age where everyone wants to be heard, the courage to be silent and listen to yourself is a kind of superpower, quiet, but strong enough to shape your entire life. When someone becomes familiar with turning inward and understanding the subtle movements of their inner world, they eventually reach a different layer of life, inner maturity. People with few friends, having walked the path of authenticity, independence, selectiveness, inwardness, often arrive at a higher, deeper vantage point than what the eye can typically see. They no longer look at life only through right-wrong, win-lose, gain-loss. They begin to see the causes behind emotions, the meaning behind events, and the lesson behind each wound. They turn loneliness from a sentence handed down by fate into a training ground for the mind, like climbing to the top of a mountain and looking down at the whole landscape of their life. From that height, the things that used to haunt them, what others think, who is better, who left them, suddenly become smaller. Instead, they start to care about bigger questions. Am I living in alignment with my true nature? Have I been kind to others and to myself? What is life trying to teach me through these moments of collapse? The wisdom, depth, and calm you see in someone who has few friends rarely just happens. It is the result of many nights when they sat face to face with their own loneliness, fear, and insecurity, and slowly learned to hold these things rather than run from them. In true Stoic fashion, they don't choose what is comfortable. They decide what helps them grow. And because of that, they are not trapped on the surface of life, where most people only chase attention, achievements, and image, but are quietly evolving inward, little by little. If you see that you have few friends, but with each passing year,